Instead of the typical riding around town video, we're going to do a little chicken cordon bleu recipe with you guys, step by step. Don't overthink cooking. Cooking is really simple, just following the recipe. So stay tuned with me as we go step by step to make this chicken cordon bleu. So there are a few ingredients that you need. You're going to need some chicken breasts, salt and pepper to your taste. You can use Swiss cheese. I chose to use smoked provolone. And some slices of ham. Your choice of flavor for ham. I chose some honey ham. And you're going to need some all-purpose flour, some eggs, and some breadcrumbs, and some oil to crisp up the breadcrumbs before we put that into the oven. We're going to be making a delicious sauce as well. For that, you're going to need a 1/4 cup butter, a 1/4 cup all-purpose flour, about 1.5 cups of milk, some cheese, white cheese, either mozzarella, provolone, or Parmesan, and you're going to need some salt and pepper to your taste. Selected 4 of the biggest chicken breasts out of that family pack. And I have some smoked provolone, as well as some honey ham here. I have some kosher salt I'm going to be using, and some black pepper. We're going to be using a meat pounder, and you're going to need a fillet knife because we're going to be filleting these chicken breasts, and then we're going to be pounding them out with the meat hammer here. For the meat hammer, we'll be using the flat side, not the side with the bumps on it. You don't need this side for the chicken breasts because they're pretty tender already. If you're coming home from a trip and you find some roadkill, you may need that. When cutting your chicken breasts, we'll get this one opened up here. We want to use this side as our edge, so we're going to be cutting from this side. We're going to trim this up just a little bit. Make sure you have a good sharp knife. So this is going to be our edge that we're going to cut to, and then we're going to cut into here. Just being mindful of your fingers, doing a little shimmy shimmy shake shake there with your knife. I'm just going to fillet it open so we'll be able to wrap up these beautiful chicken cordon bleus. We're going to lay our chicken breast out here and we're going to pound it to get enough surface area so we'll be able to roll it up. Once you got it about 1/4 inch thick, you should be good and you should be able to move on to your next chicken breast. And we're moving on to our second chicken breast here. Like I said, we're going to do 4 chicken breasts in total. We want to get the chicken breast to about 1/4 inch. And a rule of thumb, anytime you're making or preparing a meal, making sure that you have a sink full of water so you can clean as you go, so you don't got a giant mess at the end. No, we got a little hole there, but we'll be okay. These are going to be rolled up really nice. So we're going to season them now. Salt and pepper. So we're just going to do a little bit of salt on it, and then I'm a pepper fan, so I'd like fresh black pepper. Make sure you season both sides. Then once you got it at this stage, so once we're at this point, we got it nice and seasoned, we're going to add 3 pieces of honey ham and then 2 pieces of provolone. I like to layer them just to give it a little bit. So once you're here, you can roll it up, but the secret to rolling it up, you're going to get a little flour and you're going to dust it with flour so the flour turns to glue almost, and it'll help hold it together. So we're just going to dust it with a little bit of flour. We're going to dust it with a little bit of flour so it makes like a little glue for us. And then we're going to roll it up. Then once you got it rolled up, we're going to wrap it in saran wrap. So like I said, we're going to roll it and then tightly wind it up. And then we'll refrigerate it for a few hours. Okay, this is our last chicken breast to wrap up. Again, as always, your preferred flavor of ham and your preferred flavor of white cheese. I like to layer my ham and cheese there. And then don't forget, add the flour. The flour is what's the glue that holds the chicken together. Got a little much there, but that's okay. You're not going to taste the flour. You're just going to taste the amazing chicken cordon bleu that you make. And then again, you're going to roll it up, tucking everything in. And then last but not least, we're going to wrap it in saran wrap and let it sit for at least 2 hours. Okay, we're on to our last wrapping session here. I'm going to wrap this last chicken cordon bleu up. Okay, we got our chicken breasts wrapped and seasoned. We're going to throw them in the fridge for up to 2 hours. I would prefer longer, but 2 hours is the minimum, just to make sure that flour works its magic and glues the chicken together. And while we got those chicken breasts in the fridge, firming up and the flour doing its magic to glue that chicken together, we're going to enjoy this delicious beer that I picked up at my local spot. It's made in Chicago by Pipeworks Brewing Company. Lizard King. Some great graphics on that can there. It's Mosaic Hopped Pale Ale. Let's see how this turns out. Usually Pipeworks makes a delicious beer most of the time. I do like to pour my beers a little hard just to release some of that carbonation. I got this Lizard King beer poured. I poured it a little hard, got a little head on it. I'm going to try it out. It's very aromatic. Hoppy. I love hoppy beers. Wow, it's a crisp beer too. Very good mouthfeel. Nice and hoppy. A nice perfect pale ale. From Pipeworks in Chicago. Lizard King. I suggest you try it out. Mosaic Hop Pale Ale. It's very delicious. It's really good. Delicious flavor. Okay, the chicken breasts have firmed up. We're getting ready to unroll them. Once they're unrolled, we're going to roll them in this flour. Then we're going to dredge them in the eggs and then roll them in the breadcrumbs gently, and then we'll put them in the oil to fry them up. Okay, we're going to get these chicken breasts unrolled, then we're going to carefully roll them in the flour. Okay, here we go. We're going to roll this chicken breast in the flour, making sure to cover all the areas of the chicken breast, even the ends. And once we got the chicken breast completely covered with the flour, we're going to roll it into this egg, and we're going to make sure we cover all the areas with egg. We're going to be gentle. And now we're going to gently roll it in breadcrumbs, make sure to get the ends as well. We want to be really gentle at this point. Okay, once we got all the chicken breast covered in these Italian breadcrumbs, we're going to set it aside into the oil. And then we're going to place these chicken cordon bleus into the oil. We're going to let each side brown for about 30 seconds or so. If you haven't done so already, pound that like button and subscribe and leave a comment. I want to give a big shout out to my buddy JT in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I love watching your videos on your channel. And we have this chicken cordon bleu just about done here. We got it browned on every side. We're going to set it on our baking sheet. And here you are. We have 4 beautiful chicken cordon bleus browned. We're going to throw them in the oven at 375 for about a half an hour. While those chicken cordon bleus are in the oven, we're going to make a beautiful sauce. I got a 1.5 cups of milk, a 1/4 cup of flour, and a 1/4 cup of butter. I made a beurre out of that. And I also have a 1/2 cup of smoked provolone that I chopped up into small little cubes that I'm going to add to the sauce at the end. Once we get the milk up to temperature, we add the beurre, and then we added that cheese in gradually, and then we added a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, and that sauce turned out perfect. Look how creamy and cheesy it looks. Okay, the chicken cordon bleus just come out of the oven. I'm going to let them sit for about 5 minutes to let those juices rest. It took about 35 minutes to cook them to temperature. I cut one of these chicken cordon bleus for you to see how juicy it looks. And then here it is with the cream sauce. It turned out perfect.